welcome back. Time for something a little bit different here on Euro Report as we build up to tomorrow's final. Many England players in the squad, including Bukayo Saka, Ivan Toney and Mark Guéhi, have talked about their Christian faith and the impact that it has. To find out more about the impact of religion, who better to speak to than Stephen Cottrell, Archbishop of York, one of the most senior voices in the Church of England. A very good afternoon to you, Archbishop Stephen. Thank you so much for joining us. We've got to talk about the timing of the match tomorrow, 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Lots of church services taking place in the evening. As one of the most senior voices in Christianity, do you think services should be cancelled or brought forward to accommodate football? And is that what is happening?
Well, obviously, that's down to local decisions, but I am going to church tomorrow afternoon, and I did have a little look at the timings, and I'm happy to say that I think it's going to be over by about 6:30, so I will be back in time for the match. And I'm sure in churches up and down the country, vicars and priests and pastors will be keeping a little eye on the clock.
Yeah, and of course, we mentioned it there, lots of the England players have spoken pretty openly about their Christian faith. Saka, Toney, Guéhi. Saka spoke about his belief giving him an advantage before the penalty shootout. What impact can faith have on people, especially sports stars?
Well, Christian faith, in fact, all faith, puts your whole life in perspective. And helps you to realise that even really important things like finals of football tournaments aren't the most important thing in life. And paradoxically, when you put yourself in perspective, when you realise that these things, important and joyful though they are not the be-all and end-all, actually you end up performing better because you're more relaxed, more assured. You know that win or lose, you're loved and valued for who you are. These things make a real difference, whether you're a professional footballer or an armchair fan like me.
And we know that England defender Mark Guéhi grew up playing drums at his church. He wouldn't play football on Sundays until he decided to go professional. His father, John, is a minister in Lewisham. Mark said he wasn't sure that his dad could fly out there earlier this tournament because he was in charge of a service, saying that God comes first. That's kind of what you were saying there. But if his father, Pastor John, is listening, would you advise him to miss a service tomorrow to watch his son play and potentially win the Euros final?
Well, that's a decision that he'll have to make. But as I say, I think most clergy and most pastors tomorrow will know that this match is on and will be arranging things accordingly. As I say, I'm fortunate enough to be at a service that will finish in time for me to get back for the match. I hope that's true for Mark's father as well.
And for those who are not Christians or religious at all, whether it's players or fans, how important is prayer and what impact can it have?
Well, prayer is about opening oneself up to God, to know that you are loved, to align yourself to God, to want what's best, not just for yourself, but for the whole world. So I'm afraid I've got a bit of bad news. God is like a SkySports presenter, or perhaps even like a referee, determinedly neutral. And so God isn't a Spain fan or an England fan. But I can tell you the Archbishop of York is an England fan, and those of us both in Spain and in England, people of faith, will be cheering on our team. And I'm really, really hoping that England win tomorrow night. You know, I'm old. I remember 1966. One of my earliest childhood memories was running out into the back garden and reliving the match with my brother after the final whistle. I remember 2 years ago when Chloe Kelly scored that amazing goal in extra time and the Lionesses brought it home. And so I am hoping that'll happen tomorrow. But even if it doesn't, my faith in God and my prayer will help me put all of this in its proper perspective. But it doesn't stop me being a fan.
And I think with what you've said there, I kind of know what you might answer to this next question, because we heard Gary Neville say that with the way England have won on penalties, they've scored late goals, that maybe it's just meant to be. Is there any religious explanation or understanding behind that sentiment, with so many people saying that it just feels like it's written in the stars?
Yes, well, I'm not going to say that, but I am going to say I really hope England win. And there's been so many disappointments that I've lived through. You know, I'm somebody who spends rather too much of their life thinking about football. And the penalty shootouts I've seen over the years when it's all gone wrong, all of that pain and sadness that England fans have had to bear. Yes, you know, I do believe it's about time we had some success. We have a great team with some great players, and I'm hoping that tomorrow will be our day.
And we hear sports and faith combining all the time. We hear the language of religion and Christianity often in metaphors like the return of the prodigal son, keeping the faith, a player thanking heavens. Why do you think there is such a mix between sporting language and religion?
Well, the Christian faith is about the whole of life. The Christian faith says that God became a human being in Jesus Christ. The Christian faith is concerned with the things that human beings are concerned with. As I say, faith helps you put the whole of life into its proper perspective and therefore actually helps you enjoy life more and to face sorrow as well as joy. So I'm not surprised that people turn to faith to make sense of what's happening in life. I'm deeply encouraged that some of our footballers in the England team are people of faith. And I would say to everybody, you know, faith can help you. It can make a difference. It can help you navigate your way through life, and it'll help us make sense of the result tomorrow evening, whether we win or lose. But again, I have to keep on saying, I'm hoping, I'm even believing that we might win.
And we know that in sermons up and down the country, tomorrow's match will be referenced. How does the Church of England speak about a match that for many will be one of the most important days of their lives, but for many, it's just a football match?
Yes, well, not everybody is a big football fan. I do know, I find it hard to understand, but I do know that. But these occasions, when it's the England team, are occasions that bring us together as a nation. And I think a lot of people will be watching the match tomorrow night who maybe haven't watched a football match for ages. So, again, win or lose, we will come together as a nation tomorrow evening. We will be wishing our team the very best. We're thankful that we've made it this far, and we're deeply appreciative of Gareth Southgate and the players who've given us a bit of pride and a bit of joy, as well as some frustrations and anxieties along the way. So this is now for us a national occasion, and that's a really good thing.
And a few people calling for a bank holiday should England beat Spain in the final. Is that something that you would support?
Well, I think that's one step at a time. Let's get the match played. Let's hope we win, and then we'll start worrying about that. Yes, if we do win, this is something that's worth celebrating. Football is our national sport. It means a lot to an awful lot of people, and I think tomorrow will bring us all together in ways that are, you know, positive and life-giving.
OK, finally, Archbishop Stephen, you've already said your service will be finished in time. Where are you watching the game? Are you watching it at home? You've said you're a believer. Tell me, is football coming home?
Yeah. Yes, so I really hope that it is. I'm in North Allerton in North Yorkshire tomorrow evening, and I'll be driving home to where I live in Bishopthorpe to watch it. And just to say to you and your team, if you need an extra football correspondence on Monday Night Football, I'm available to give advice and comment on the ups and downs of English football, and I'm hoping tomorrow's going to be a big up.
Absolutely brilliant. It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'll see you on a Monday Night Football very soon.
I look forward to it. Thank you.